What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including Randy Orton in a bad way, an AEW star is injured, did the WWE tease Adam Cole vs Shawn Michaels, CM Punk sends a message to the Fiend, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Now let's hit the intro and get straight into the first story. Our first story looks at Randy Orton in a bad way, and more details are emerging on Randy Orton's wife Kim going off on Alexa Bliss via Twitter after Bliss made a sexy pin on Orton at Fastlane. According to Ringside News' Steve Carrier, Randy Orton's wife sent out an angry tweet after Fastlane. We were told that was 100% a shoot. She was actually very upset at how Bliss decided to pin her husband. Orton was also in a bad way about it the next day. They also mentioned that Randy Orton got an earful from his wife. It was also said that she was rough on him about the segment. Orton's demeanor indicated that he didn't have the best conversation. Guys were consoling him, and Randy is one of those guys who doesn't mess around. It seems that Orton's wife really didn't appreciate the angle. It's incredible how much heat Kim Orton is reportedly putting on her husband for a fictitious segment. What do you think of Mrs. Orton's reaction? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, an AEW star injured. As bad news for AEW star John Silver, who appears to have dislocated his shoulder during his title bout against TNT champion Darby Allin on last night's Dynamite. Silver took to Twitter to let his fans know. A fan captured video of Allin checking on Silver after the match, with the TNT champion complimenting Silver. I don't think anybody here knows, but I'm pretty sure you dislocated your shoulder about halfway through that match. God damn, did you put everything into it? And I'm down to do it anytime again. Thank you, John. Thank you. I will continue following this story and wish Silver a fast and full recovery. Next up, why Bad Bunny is working a singles match at WrestleMania. Rapper Bad Bunny will face The Miz at WrestleMania 37, and while the WWE has been teasing the match since this year's Royal Rumble, it looked like the WWE was setting things up for a tag team match with Bad Bunny and Damian Priest battling The Miz and John Morrison. This made sense since Bad Bunny is a rookie wrestler and a tag match could have helped cover up any in-ring limitations. However, that apparently isn't happening and fans want to know why. Now, Mike Johnson, a PW Insider, is reporting on the WWE's reasoning for the decision, saying, Morrison and Damian Priest are dealing with some minor injuries right now, and rather than announce the tag match, then change it, they announced it as a singles match. And if everybody's good to go, it will evolve into the tag match. It might even evolve into the tag match that night. They are being very conservative just in case one or both are not 100% cleared to perform. I was told it's just some minor injury issues. They are being very careful. While fans can debate the value of a Bad Bunny match, this story is encouraging. Indeed, if this report is accurate, it's actually one of the best moves the WWE can make, especially considering the company's history of changing matches without warning or giving a reason. Next up, did WWE tease Adam Cole vs Shawn Michaels on NXT? And while Michaels has said he's retired, in fact we recently reported on how Michaels was unhappy when he stepped out of retirement in 2018 to team with Triple H against the Brothers of Destruction at Crown Jewel, the internet wrestling community is buzzing about Michaels locking up with former NXT champion in what could be a dream match. In case you missed last night's episode of NXT, Michaels appeared backstage to tease a ladder match between Jordan Devlin and Santos Escobar, who will soon be battling to determine the undisputed NXT Cruiserweight Championship. However, things really started sizzling later on, as Wrestling News' Paul Davis noted. Later in this week's NXT show, Michaels had a brief backstage confrontation with Adam Cole that will probably get some people wondering about a possible dream match. Now, despite his last match not going so well, Michaels has nothing to prove. Nevertheless, a Cole vs Michaels match could be phenomenal. Would you like to see the Heartbreak Kid step out of retirement? On the other hand, fans could see NXT General Manager William Regal step into the ring against Cole, as Cole took a shot at Regal after the latest episode of the Black and Gold brand went off the air. At 52, it wouldn't be unprecedented for Regal to step back into the ring, despite him retiring in 2017. Next up, CM Punk sends a message to the Fiend. As CM Punk no longer wrestles in the WWE, but a recent tweet suggests he still follows the product. Wrestling straight edge superstar sent a message to Randy Orton concerning the Viper's feud against the Fiend Bray Wyatt. Punk harkened back to the time when Orton battled Punk's new Nexus and delivered a Punk kick to Husky Harris, the future Bray Wyatt. Punk also commented on the time the new Nexus whipped Harris for failing to get the job done in the ring. I tried to warn him, Randall. never listened. Hope you don't hold a grudge for that little whipping incident. Bygones and such. The Fiend commented on the Punk kick as well, tweeting a photo of Orton getting ready to send Harris into oblivion. Someday someone will break you so badly that you'll become unbreakable, quoting the Joker. The Fiend vs Randy Orton feud seems to be headed for a final showdown at WrestleMania 37, and while it's unknown whether the match will be some sort of stipulation match, some fans are hoping it will be a cinematic match. Next up, Dr. Britt Baker criticizes WWE Hall of Famer. Dr. Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa's Lights Out match on the 17th March Dynamite is still being talked about, not only for its brutality and blood, but for it being arguably the best match yet in AEW's women's division. The match garnered heaps of praise from wrestlers and fans alike, including hardcore legend Mick Foley, who tweeted a thumbs up for Baker and Rosa. Baker followed up on last week's Mayhem, cutting a promo during the 24th March Dynamite about the event and Foley's praise. Here's a quick excerpt, and I don't need the praise and admiration from all you legends and experts telling me that I'm worthy now that I'm a star. Mick Foley, thanks for the thumbs up, except it took you 20 years to become a hardcore legend, and I did it in one night. Mrs. Foley's baby boy replied to the comments via Twitter. Not gonna lie, this comment from Britt Baker stung a little. Foley has to deal with more scathing social media moments than this, and it seems like he's just having fun with Baker's comments which will probably reflect her heel character rather than her true feelings towards Foley, a wrestler whose contributions to the industry are well known. And finally, that time John Cena learned not to clown with Kurt Angle. Our wrestling fans know that house shows and live events can be more relaxed atmospheres as wrestlers do things they might not do on television. However, John Cena learned the hard way that there are some things that you just don't do with Kurt Angle, especially if it involves clowning around in or out of the ring. During a recent episode of his podcast, The Arn Show, longtime producer Arn Anderson recalled the time Kurt Angle beat John Cena senseless in order to teach him a lesson in wrestling etiquette. Cena was wrestling Kurt Angle. As we know, Kurt Angle is the real deal. He's an assassin. All of a sudden, I see John out of nowhere during a random time in the match. He rolls out of the ring, goes over the rail about 15 rows deep, grabs one of those big foam hands and folds it into a bird and points it to Kurt Angle. The audience popped, but as he gave it back and came over that rail to rejoin the match, guess who was waiting on him and not too happy about what just happened? That would be Kurt Angle, and he proceeded to beat John half to death. Cena would survive the beating and likely learn that there are some people you don't give the foam finger to. What do you think of Kurt's response though? Did he overreact? Let us know in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.